Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to 10 WWE undercard stories that hype fans for WrestleMania. So these would be undercard stories. So an undercard story, that's tough. I would say undercard stories. There was the one off the top of my head would definitely be the Randy Orton going up against Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes when Legacy pretty much disbanded itself, and he challenged both of them to a triple threat match. That was pretty interesting. What was another undercard that I liked a lot? Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. That was up just to sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt. I make your ankle hurt. that was pretty good. Obviously Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. That was another one. Damn, undercard. Shit, it's pretty tough because a lot of undercards can be very mid, but ones that get you hype, like, yo, I want to see this. Like right now, not Bianca, but Jade and Naomi. That's definitely one of the ones right now. Is that one? That's definitely an undercard match. I'm very interested in seeing that WrestleMania. Hopefully they can execute. I'm pretty sure they go execute. I'm not gonna doubt my black sisters. I'm not gonna sit up here and doubt my black sisters, my black queens out here. We already know how we rocking out here.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into it.
1, 2, is this on?
Many of the best storylines take place in the lead up to WrestleMania.
I created Hulkamania, and by God, at WrestleMania, I'm gonna kill it.
With numerous angles shot and promos cut to set up the big match.
I can promise you I'll never say anything about your father again. However, your sister?
For this video, we'll be diving into some of the best stories going into the show of shows that weren't the main event.
I ain't gonna lie, none of the Kane and Undertaker feuds were good. I'm gonna just keep it real with you, bro. Kane and Undertaker feuds are probably some of the most overrated matches ever.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it real.
As today, we highlight 10 storylines that got fans hyped for WrestleMania.
Why don't you take all the other behind the one
Oh, I forgot about Ric Flair and HBK. Damn. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Shawn Michaels had back-to-back bangers, though. Shawn Michaels went from WrestleMania 20 to WrestleMania 19 to WrestleMania 26, which is straight bangers. Yo, hey, don't ever tell me that Shawn Michaels not the GOAT. Y'all can sit up here and say Stone Cold all y'all want to. Shawn Michaels is the real GOAT. Let's keep it real, bro.
right now. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
There's been plenty of great WrestleMania stories featuring The Undertaker, especially the thrilling sagas of wrestlers trying to break his Mania undefeated streak. But we want to take it back to perhaps the best story ever told involving Taker, as in 1997, the Phenom's arc took an incredible...
It's the best story ever told. The match is just... I'm sorry for all y'all wrestling fans out there that's gonna say, no, it's not, it was the best. Name one time these niggas had a good match that didn't look stiff, that wasn't slow, that wasn't boring, they didn't do nothing. It looked like a basic ass Monday Night Raw SmackDown match, bruh. Fuck out of here.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Try.
I said what I said.
incredible turn when Paul Bearer revealed the secret of his son and Undertaker's half-brother, Kane.
It's what I want. Me. As long as I hold that secret over your head, you'll do what I say. You burnt the funeral home to the ground. You killed your family, Undertaker.
My mother, my father, and my little brother burnt to death in the family funeral home.
Taker accidentally burned Kane when they were kids, and now the Big Red Machine was back for revenge.
One day he'll come face to face with his evil brother, The Undertaker. It's gonna be Kane.
That was like one of the first times ever I showed any kind of look or emotion that didn't say kill.
Yes, oh yes, he's alive. Look at his eye, Undertaker.
I will never fight Kane.
Come to me as my brother. Stand beside me.
A smile on his face, a choke slam into the casket, and my God, the casket.
I'll give you the casket
Passing
match.
of his parents helped explain the ethos for Undertaker.
I'll give you the casket match. The casket match was okay. But see, that's the thing, though. They got to add implements to it in order for them to work together. Like a basic-ass match? Fuck no.
Taker's character, in that he draws strength from the spirit of his family that perished.
Is it sit up here? It is the Undertaker! It's the Undertaker! And he is back!
Just you wait.
There he is!
Mother, please forgive me for the sin which I'm about to commit. I only hope that together, as one, we can rest in peace. A family once again. He's given me no other choice. I have to fight. Just know that I love you.
Things came to a head at WrestleMania 14. Taker won the match but was left laying as the brothers' story continued for decades to come, including 6 years later when they squared off at WrestleMania 20.
That's
Fans
trash.
anticipated the Phenom's return. WrestleMania 19's biggest selling point was Hulk Hogan vs Vince McMahon, dubbed 20 years in the making, as Vince had made Hogan a star in WWF.
Is it the idea or the machine behind it that makes it? I think I can take as much credit as he can.
Only for Hulk to leave for WCW.
The very first opportunity you had, Hogan, you screwed me. You turned your back on our friendship, that hurt.
It was an obvious story to tell and made for some great TV. Hogan and McMahon crossed paths a couple of times on screen in 2002, planting seeds for their match the next year.
I invented sports entertainment, and just for the record, I made you.
One day I may retire, but it won't be until I kick your ass.
Hulk and Vince's feud kicked into gear after McMahon screwed Hogan out of defeating The Rock at No Way Out in Montreal.
Hey, fuck both
Real-life
these
issues
niggas.
such as Hogan testifying against McMahon during the Cero trial were mentioned.
Hey, let's just get out the way right now. Fuck both these niggas, bro. Let's just get it out the way right now, bro. Fuck both these niggas. Fuck Vince and fuck Hogan, bro. Fuck both of these niggas, bro.
Tried to put him in jail. You testified against me for the federal government. If it wasn't for my testimony, I saved your ass. You would have went to prison. That Vince McMahon is full of. Well, there you go. Maybe I shouldn't have put my career on the line at WrestleMania, but I did, and I will.
God damn.
You're gonna sign in your own blood.
Their street fight was a match befitting such a personal feud. It exceeded expectations as both men put in one hell of a shift. Ric Flair's feud with the Macho Man going into WrestleMania 8 centered around Flair alleging that he and the Macho Man's wife Elizabeth dated before she and Randy met. Rick even had numerous pictures printed in WWF magazine to prove it.
Remember, she was mine, pal, before she was yours.
Flair's got more photos of him and Elizabeth than Hugh Hefner has of all the bunnies.
This was news to Savage, who'd already been quite overprotective of Liz in the past, so hearing about this supposed past relationship made him furious. But he responded, stating Flair was lying and it was all untrue.
The photographs at poolside.
Untrue!
Well, I mean at the billiard table and watching television.
Untrue!
It would later come to light that Rick's pictures of him and Elizabeth were simply doctored photos that originally showed Macho and Liz.
WWF champion Ric Flair bought us the photos. We had no reason to believe they're anything less than genuine. We tried to contact the Savages, they were on vacation. They were unavailable. Press time was upon us, we had to go to press.
I don't know how he did it, how Ric Flair managed to do it, but those are personal pictures of Randy and mine.
Savage overcame Flair at WrestleMania 8 to win the WWF Championship. Rick was, however, able to steal a kiss from Elizabeth on the night.
Yeah, we almost hit her.
Damn.
Damn.
Flair was told if he lost one more match, he would have to retire.
The first match You lose, Rick. Your career is over.
This created a 4-month storyline where every match Flair fought for his career. Then when Shawn Michaels announced Rick would headline the 2008 Hall of Fame, it set up a clash between the two at WrestleMania 24. This had first been hinted the night before at the No Way Out pay-per-view.
Suppose I'll find something to do at WrestleMania.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
It was a brilliant emotional storyline as Michaels didn't want to end Rick's career.
I am not going to be known as the guy that ended Ric Flair's career.
In my career, if I wrestle you, is that a given?
But the Nature Boy insisted he could defeat Shawn, though the Heartbreak Kid said he was bringing his best to WrestleMania.
It would be my honor to wrestle you at WrestleMania.
If I win at WrestleMania, it's because I'm the man. If you beat me at WrestleMania, you have beaten the man.
You leave me no choice. It is your show that is gonna be stopped.
In the run-up to Mania, Shawn helped Rick win matches which annoyed Flair, who didn't want his help.
And I don't want you to get involved in anything I'm doing till I see you at WrestleMania.
And now the hook of the leg is covered. Hey, Shawn Michaels.
This led to the famous Old Yeller promo delivered on the Go Home Raw before WrestleMania.
Remember the story of Old Yeller? But when it was time, they had to take that dog out back and finish him. Come Sunday, the showstopper's gonna take you, Old Yeller, behind.
This right here, this was peak cinema. You want to talk about a emotional build with an emotional match behind it? This right here was peak fucking cinema, bruh. 5 out of 5 for me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
On the woodshed and put you out of your misery.
I'm not gonna retire. I'll never retire.
Michaels would ultimately go on to end the illustrious career of the Nature Boy at the Show of Shows. Mick Foley had come out of retirement in 2004, but by 2006 he wanted to have a definitive WrestleMania match he could be proud of. This was the case in the storyline and real life.
In my career, I never had that one defining WrestleMania moment. Deep down, I've known it, and deep down, I've needed it for a long time.
Meanwhile, Edge, who was undefeated at Mania, was making his transition into the main event scene. Foley could set the Rated R superstar up for greatness, just like Mick had done with Triple H 6 years prior. The feud began after Edge believed Foley cost him a chance to win the WWE Championship against John Cena.
I should be main eventing at WrestleMania, and it's your fault that I'm not.
The Rated R superstar decided to challenge Mick to a match at WrestleMania 22.
God, what a concerto!
This is really where Edge became Edge. Like, first, the Matt Hardy situation was wild, but that was a real life situation. Then when he took the title from John Cena, that was only the beginning. That was light work. He didn't get enough time with the title or Cena at that time. This right here, this is where Edge became fucking Edge. This match solidified Edge as who he was going to be for the remainder of his time as a heel. Like, you want to talk about Edge in his prime, this is where it started. This is where the Rated R superstar Edge started, bro. Right fucking here, bro. This was his best line of work, hands down.
Foley knew he couldn't defeat Edge one-on-one, so Mick upped the stakes, making it a hardcore match.
You've awoken something inside of me that was sleeping for too long. Do you know what you've done?
Meaning Edge had to unleash the brutal side of him that lived up to his Rated R superstar moniker.
Look at this, all his thumbtacks. Foley thinking giving Edge a baseball bat. Foley got his own bat, but it's coming in the oh, look at this! Mick Foley blocked the low blow!
The build-up made it clear this would be a violent encounter, featuring fire, barbed wire, and thumbtacks. When Chris Jericho returned to WWE...
But I must say, though, Mick Foley put himself through some shit for our entertainment. And while I appreciate that, can somebody please tell Mick Foley to go sit the fuck down somewhere, please? Mick Foley need to go sit the fuck down somewhere, please, brother. No, I'm just saying, bro. Mick Foley, bro, sit the fuck down, bro. You doing too much. You want to wrestle, then y'all here getting into car accidents, brother. Sit the fuck down, brother. You done had near-death experiences in the ring. You done put your body through so much, brother. Just sit down. For the sake of our sanity, bro. For the sake of every wrestling fan's sanity, bro. Sit the fuck down.
WWE in 2012, CM Punk was the obvious matchup after Jericho had taken shots at Punk on social media for supposedly ripping Chris off.
I am the best in the world at everything I do, and I don't have to write it on the back of a t-shirt to prove it.
You say that you're the best in the world at what you do, and I say that I'm the best wrestler in the world.
Their feud was originally supposed to ignite after Jericho tattooed his initials on Punk's body, with the idea being that this would be a permanent reminder and personal scar left on Punk by Chris. The problem was this rivalry took place during the height of the PG era, so the tattoo plan ended up being scrapped because Vince McMahon got scared about the prospect of blood being visible while Punk was being inked. The storyline later shifted from Jericho being angry Punk ripped him off to instead center around Chris bringing Punk's family issues to light.
You're straight edge because your father is an alcoholic. You don't want to end up like him, but it's inevitable that you will. Was the pain of wanting to drink so bad that you needed the pain of a tattoo needle to take it out of your mind?
Specifically, the legit demons faced by Punk's father who struggled with alcohol, and how this was the reason for Punk living a straight edge lifestyle.
A man who has hundreds of tattoos across his body to try and hide the fact that he has an alcoholic gene running through his veins.
Because if there's a devil in my DNA, it's now your problem. And at WrestleMania, if there's a monster inside me, I'm gonna let that monster out. I refuse to let my past dictate my future. There isn't a person on this planet that should let a past nightmare dictate or cloud their future dreams.
It made for a compelling feud that put a lot of heat on Jericho.
Your sister is a drug addict.
My sister is off limits. What he said about her is complete fabrication.
Your parents' wedding date actually took place after your birth date. That makes you the legal definition of a bastard.
Ultimately leading to a superb clash and victory for Punk at WrestleMania 28.
How's your father? How's your sister? Your father's a drunk! Hit him in the head! Your sister's a drug addict!
Chris Jericho's partnership with Kevin Owens was one of the best things on WWE television in 2016.
Button? I need that button. Thank you. I need about 25 more cents. Come on. What? 20. Dry clean is expensive. Come on.
At WrestleMania, the tears of Jericho can use that silly scarf to wipe his.
The best man won.
Man.
Men.
Yeah,
and
two
friends
of us.
Sometimes.
It's okay.
I mess up.
The best man won.
They had hilarious chemistry and it was believable that they could really be good friends.
You're the goat! You're the donkey! Yeah, fine, I don't care! Janitor!
Me as WWE Universe Russo. Wow.
You're so smart too, because English is your second language.
That's
Everyone
true.
forgets that.
The hug of Jericho. Bring it in, man! I know who's at fault for us losing at Survivor Series last night.
So do I.
Yeah, I do too.
I know. I'll tell you whose fault it is.
Roman Reigns!
Plus, once it finally came time to break them up, you knew it would be a great continuation of the story given the quality of the talent involved.
Told you not to come down.
I was trying to help.
You didn't
I was
help.
trying to help.
You caused me to
What the hell is going on here?
Owens turned on Jericho during the Festival of Friendship on February 13, 2017 in one of the all-time Raw segments.
How come my name's on this?
Y2J had been probably the funniest star in wrestling that year, but after being betrayed by KO, all bets were off.
And the second you accepted the match against Goldberg on my behalf, that second you went from a tool to a burden and you had to go.
You know what happens when you betray Chris Jericho? You just made a list!
A fan of Jericho.
He was marking out, man!
It was time to get serious. WrestleMania 33 was the perfect destination for these two to square off. Given how this was the best rivalry in WWE leading up to the show of shows, it deserved to have the Universal Championship involved, a belt Owens had held until a month out from Mania. The company switched gears and gave the title to the Goldberg and Brock Lesnar feud. This meant Chris and Kevin fought for the United States Championship instead, and were put on second at WrestleMania rather than later in the card like was first planned. This, coupled with Vince McMahon hating their match, meant the feud lost steam after Mania, but we can't deny how epic their program was up until the big show.
Vince told me face to face about the main event plan. He didn't tell me about the change, and that was changing it to Brock versus Goldberg for the world title.
They had us on second on WrestleMania, which was the writing on the wall that they didn't care about the feud. And I just knew that it's time for me to go.
2 years later, Owens had been slated to challenge Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35. However, Kofi Kingston's incredible performances as a late replacement in the Gauntlet match before the 2019 Elimination Chamber, and then inside the chamber itself, resulted in fans wanting Kofi to challenge for the title at Mania.
And Bryan, trouble in paradise! Kofi advances! Bryan back up, knee to the face! And Bryan retains his title!
I just feel like it has to be now. You've been waiting too long. I've worked too hard.
Seeing this, the WWE decided to switch gears and cash in on Kofi's momentum.
I told you about my friend, first name Mo, last name Mental. And I keep him by my side at all times. You know what I'm saying? But you're always only one match away, you know, from greatness, from history. One match, that's all it takes.
Kofi Kingston captured the heart and the imagination of the world.
I feel like the entire WWE universe has my back. What was it? Kofi Mania? Trending on Twitter?
Per the storyline, Kingston was then scheduled to wrestle Bryan for the belt at Fastlane, only for Vince McMahon to replace Kofi with the returning Kevin Owens.
I'm replacing you with a man I've appointed that is more deserving than you, quite frankly.
Kofi Kingston is a supporting player, which is why Kofi Kingston is exactly where he should be.
McMahon then goaded Kingston into thinking he'd been added to the Bryan and Owens match, only to book Mustafa Ali in the bout instead. Ali being the man who Kofi previously replaced in the Elimination Chamber. Meanwhile, Kingston had to battle Sheamus and Cesaro in a handicap match.
The following is actually a handicap match.
Machka kick to Woods. That's it.
It was fitting that Daniel Bryan was the champion and opponent, since Kingston's struggle here drew comparisons to Daniel's going into WrestleMania 30. Kofi was even referred to as a B+ player, the same thing Bryan was labeled as 5 years earlier.
Daniel, you might not be an A, but you are a B+.
Kofi's awesome, but he's a good B+ player.
Once again, the power of the fans prevailed, but this time around WWE were more willing to play ball compared to how much they dragged their heels with Bryan's storyline in 2014. In order to challenge Bryan at Mania, Kingston had to go through an entire gauntlet match again. This failed after McMahon added Bryan at the last minute, when Kingston had seemingly already won the match.
Obliterates Kofi Kingston! Kick out! Kofi Kingston is not going to WrestleMania.
But it is.
You can't now put another mountain on top of that. It doesn't end.
I get it. But if we quit, then Vince wins. Then Daniel Bryan wins, man.
Kofi got one more chance the next week, courtesy of his New Day partners, Big E and Xavier Woods. If they won their gauntlet match, Kingston would challenge Bryan for the WWE title at WrestleMania.
Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania. He pulled it off. Kofi, celebrate. Celebrate, man. Once they're done with sucking all the positivity out of you, they will discard you.
At the show of shows, Kofi won the WWE Championship in his first one-on-one match for the belt after 11 years on the roster.
That was a good moment. I never watched the build to this. I just watched the WrestleMania. I wasn't watching wrestling around this time. I was done with wrestling. But watching the match, I was like, hey, that was a pretty good moment because Kofi been around for a very long time.
It was an emotional win which created an all-time WrestleMania moment in the process.
Kofi did it! Kofi did it! Kofi did it!
Let him cry. What's gonna pay to cry in wrestling?
Owen Hart had always been in the shadow of his brother Bret, until it finally all became too much. This was apparent at the 1992 Survivor Series, when in front of the Hart family, Bret inadvertently caused Owen to be eliminated from their match.
I know what's going down. Owen is sick. He is sick and tired of living in the shadow of Bret the Hitman.
Owen then laid down the challenge for a match, but Bret refused to wrestle his brother.
I had to confront him face to face to let him know, quit being so selfish.
all the favoritism towards you, Brett. What about me?
Everything's been great for Brett, but what about me? I'm the guy that stood beside him through thick and thin.
I will not fight my brother.
They briefly settled their differences and teamed back up.
We ironed out all the bugs. There's no problem between me and Brett, and we're focused for one thing. Royal Rumble, WWF Tag Team belts on the line.
It's water under the bridge. It is over and done with, and it doesn't matter anymore, because we are a unit.
But the final straw for Owen came when they were unable to win the tag titles due to Brett getting hurt. Owen was angry the injured Hitman never tagged out when he should have.
It's obvious to me that Owen Hart is finally...
You could have been WWF Tag Team Champion with me, but you're too damn selfish, and you're gonna pay, brother. I kicked him when he was down, and it felt good. It felt great!
Despite the injury, Brett was still able to win the Royal Rumble match to set up a WWF title match at WrestleMania 10 on a night where the Hitman would also face Owen.
You think that I care about what happened to Brett and what happened to my family? They're the ones that started this. Brett, you're the one that started it.
I'll give him a fight. I'll give him a damn good fight.
We'll be in after... Hey, wait a minute.
That's what I think of Bret Hart. I'm the number one Hart. Bye, Hitman. There goes the other leg, Hitman.
Owen, you are just another opponent. Officially, that's what you are. You want to fight fire with fire? That's fine with me.
Owen scored a shock victory at Mania, but despite this, he remained underappreciated in the shadows since Brett won the WWF Championship later that night. When Bret Hart returned to action in 1996, he went straight for the man he believed was the best wrestler in the company, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
If you put the letter S in front of Hitman, you've had my exact
All right, I don't think we have to go there. I'm not greedy for money. I'm greedy for respect. And when this thing's all said and done, you will respect me.
Austin was a calculated heel, fed up with how he'd been treated over the years, but he knew a win over the Hitman would skyrocket his career, especially since the momentum was already in Austin's favor.
Win, lose, or draw, I will always be on your ass.
That's why the excellence of execution.
Yeah, whatever.
Pink tights. What the hell is that all about, Brett? No ballet class. Sunglasses and sparklers. What a load of crap.
And if I can beat Stone Cold, then I will beat Stone Cold. The rest is easy pickings for the Hitman.
Steve came up short against Brett at the Survivor Series, but this only added fuel to the fire in the Rattlesnakes rivalry with the excellence of execution.
See what the Hitman can do. Watch his back. Unbelievable.
Stone Cold then screwed Brett out of winning the 1997 Royal Rumble.
Austin been eliminated. He was in there for 34 minutes. It's over. No.
Austin also cost Hart the WWF title on Raw. This set up a submission match at WrestleMania 13, and while Stone Cold remained the cool, calculated trash talker with a chip on his shoulder, Brett began to complain about constantly being screwed over.
Why this bitterness? You treat me like a dog and you expect me to smile? You remind me of a jackass. They hold up signs, they go, Bret Hart's crying again.
This led to the Hitman getting booed in the weeks before the big event, thus paving the way for a double turn to take place during their Mania match.
Nobody in the building cares. Nobody in the dressing room cares. So much goddamn injustice around here. Bret Hart, ever since you came back, you ain't done nothing but cry.
It was a star-making performance for Austin, who may have lost, but still got over in a massive way. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our similar video on the 10 most glaring omissions from WrestleMania card.
Alrighty, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Most definitely, man. Some stories I totally forgot about. A lot of stories I'm not gonna remember because I wasn't watching wrestling at a certain point in time between 2016 and 2019. I was on and off again with wrestling. Like I said, once the pandemic hit, I started watching wrestling again because it was nothing to do. But yeah, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.